We all have been challenged with a low self-esteem. But when does it get to a point now where it is influencing your quality of life, your dreams, your goals, and everything that it is that you're trying to achieve? And you always feel held back by this part and aspect of your identity that you cannot get a firm grip on. Join me in today's video where I'm going to be explaining to you how to crush and overcome a low self-esteem. Hi everyone, Evette Rose here, founder of Metaphysical Anatomy Technique, which is a beautiful, gentle, graceful healing technique that's designed to help you to shift anxiety, stress, depression, trauma, and also secondary gaze and self-sabotage in a very gentle and graceful way. Also in a way where you don't have to relive the past, you don't need to know the root causes of it. Most of the time, you don't even need to talk about it. And you can find out so much more at evetterose.com. And guys, remember to subscribe here to my channel and stay up to date. So welcome to today's topic, which is all about low self-esteem. And this is something that has affected me and basically you as well, everyone. We've all been through phases and stages in our lives where our self-esteem didn't feel in its, top shape or probably as good or strong or healthy as it needed to be. Now, let's start off first by defining what is a low self-esteem. This is when someone, for example, would just lack confidence about who you are and what you feel you're capable of and what you can do. And parts of you that perhaps feels incompetent, unloved, or inadequate. Now, a person with a low self-esteem tend to struggle with their perception of their identity, and they're consistently afraid of making mistakes or letting other people down. But this experience is nothing but a hoax. Let's have a look now here, because at the end of the day, there are several signs, right? There's many, many hundreds, but I'm going to be focusing here on just a few of them. And the ones that are problematic globally, the ones that stand out the most. Number one is signs of having a low self-esteem is when you're very sensitive to criticism. Now, for example, if you have a low self-esteem, you might be extra sensitive to criticism, as well as from other people and maybe even from yourself, right? You might actually see it only as reinforcing your flaws, your weaknesses, and your mistakes as well, making you feel that you can't really do anything right. Another point is also social withdrawal, not feeling confident to be around people, feeling the fear of being judged or criticized, or perhaps, you can't raise your opinion or not feeling that you can stand strong or confidently in your opinion as well. Another point that we have is hostility. Now, for someone, for example, with the low self-esteem, lashing out or becoming aggressive towards others is actually a defense mechanism. Because if you feel that you are about to be exposed or criticized or attacked, normally what can happen is that you can move into what's called the fight instinct, not with the intention to necessarily start, a conundrum, but much more so to actually just protect yourself and to defend. But now that's just a sign of overcompensating for how vulnerable you feel. Another part also is that we can look at here as a sign is excessive preoccupation with personal problems. This can now look at, for example, like consistently worrying, worrying maybe about your personal issues, and it can maybe feeling or worrying always about taking other people's time. And also maybe where you feel like you're emphasizing maybe a little bit too much with other people's problems as well, maybe getting too involved as well. Another part also that you can look at is there can be physical symptoms as well, because a low self-esteem has actually been shown to lead to mental and physical health issues like depression, anxiety, and also anorexia. And it can also lead to unhealthy habits like maybe smoking, tobacco, alcohol abuse or drug abuse and substance abuse. Now, when we look at having a self-esteem, right, and also the issues that can come from this, it can be extremely detrimental to your health and also negatively affect your personal and also your professional relationships as well. And there are also many reasons why you might have a low self-esteem, right? It can be perhaps from your genes, how you grew up, and also other life circumstances from your environment can play a tremendously big role as well. And a major factor of low self-esteem also comes from your mental state, your inner voice, or perhaps also known as the thoughts in your head. And that can maybe now be constantly just telling you that you're not good enough, you're not worthy, and so forth. So, of course, if we have that mindset in our mind, we're constantly looking and scanning our environment to validate how we feel. And now what happens is that we filter in all the bad things. We filter in all the negative thoughts of other people. We filter in bad things that they might be saying, or they might say something that's actually quite innocent, but we will actually go and look for the negative in that just to validate these negative thoughts and beliefs that we have about ourselves. Remember also that you have at least 90,000 thoughts per day, conscious and subconscious, and 75,000 thoughts are repeated the next day. So if you're constantly thinking, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm this, I'm this, I'm that, and it's just all so negative, it keeps being repeated the next day. And you are literally cognitively wiring yourself to think very negatively about yourself as well. And when we look at some of the causes as to why you could feel that you have a low self-esteem, it could be an unhappy childhood. Maybe you just felt that you were not good enough in your childhood. And normally, guys, what happens here is when you felt like you were not good enough in your childhood, normally in most cases, well, at least 95% of the time, it's not because you were not good enough. Well, at least actually 100% of the time. I said 95%, but I'll get to the other 5% in a minute. When we look at the 95%, now we're looking at mom and dad and your people around you behaving certain ways during moments and times where you were looking for their validation, but they couldn't show up in the way that you needed them to. You had an emotional attachment to them being and behaving a certain way. And when they failed to show up in that way, perhaps because of their own inadequacies, you saw their failure to show up for you as a reflection of what you are worth. Boom. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It's not your fault, but in that moment, you associate and you take that reaction as a reflection of what you are worth. Now, another part here could also be is that maybe you do have, challenges with school. Maybe there is poor performance issues, but that could also be because of maybe lack of support. Normally, the reason for that can be endless. But at the end of the day, of course, if we feel that we're not performing as well as we could with something, absolutely it's going to have an effect on your self-esteem. And also what can be another point is ongoing stress in your life as well, such as maybe relationships, that can break down. You can have financial problems. They can also be because maybe poor treatment from a partner or from friends or even from colleagues. And also even ongoing medical problems such as chronic pain or serious illnesses or physical disabilities or mental illnesses can have a tremendously big effect on your self-esteem. Now, here's the thing. You can overcome a low self-esteem with the right support, with the right mindset, and also to change your behavior, especially in areas where you feel that you're just not happy with the way that you're showing up. And so what you can do is you can start the following 5 steps to start to improve your self-esteem. The first step is to identify troubling conditions and situations in your life. What are they? What active step can you take in your life right now to start to improve these situations, or at least your attitude, at least your mindset towards these issues? And then step 2 is become aware of your thoughts and beliefs. This is very important, guys. Also remember that I have a how to heal negative thoughts video with a healing session, everything for you on my YouTube channel. You can go to evettevideos.com. I also have a free guided healing session, which is at www.guidedhealingsession.com. And there you can go through this session and this process where I take you through a very deep meditation as well that will help you to shift any blockages or challenges that you might feel that you're having in your life as well. Another point here is adjust your mindset. Guys, if you think something's going to be hard, depressing, it's going to be bad, I don't want to do it, perfect. There you go. That's what you're going to have. If you're going to think, wow, this is going to be an adventure, I'm going to make this fun, I'm going to be resilient in this, I'm going to show up in the best possible way, I know that I'm always doing my best, here you go. That's going to be your experience. Another part about this mindset is be optimistic. Be optimistic about relationship and other people, right? Because at the end of the day, we're all doing our best, and that includes you. No one wakes up every day thinking, how can I ruin my life? How can I ruin your life? People don't do that. We have patterns, we have habits that's coming through that's just pouring over from a cup that's already flowing over, that's already very full. And we're all doing our absolute best. Try your best to give people at least just the benefit of a doubt, or at least certain circumstances, the benefit of a doubt, before assuming that things will always go wrong or that you are destined for failure. These are all just made up beliefs that at the end of the day that you convinced yourself to be true. But if that's going to be your mindset, then you will continuously prove yourself right. Because if that is where your energy flows, that's where your focus also is. And that is what you end up subconsciously align yourself with. And you're putting yourself in a no-win situation. So guys, there you have it. Raise your vibration, raise that beautiful self-esteem that you have, because at the end of the day, it is your birthright to just be you. And who you are is enough, and it's good enough. But sometimes you have to be the one that believes it. Thank you for joining me, everyone. And until next time, be the light that you are. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm sure that you learned a lot. So guys, subscribe to my channel here and also hit the notifications bar, and so that you can get notified every time when I upload a new video. So guys, also remember to share the video and also look out for courses that I have below in the description bar. And until next time, be the light that you are.